All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua is just around the corner. This last section of the year has been the time for heavyweights. Andy Ruiz say he's bringing something a little different, a little more intense to the Anthony Joshua fight. And let's talk about that in the heavyweight division in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get all the notifications. And also special thanks to my two communities that make this channel click. The live stream community that watches the live streams, joins me on live streams Monday through Friday right around 11:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. And on Sundays for the weekend show, OG Boxing Talk with myself, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing, and Curtis Anderson. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you're there. All right. This last quarter, man, this is the month of October. So October, November, December. As far as business quarters, we are in the fourth quarter of the year 2020. And it has a lot of heavyweight action about to go down. First, we had this introduction, an interesting introduction to the heavyweight division this weekend, and Alexander Usyk, who fought Chaz Witherspoon on 5 days' notice. Could have looked a lot better. Yeah, but he got the job done, and he's an interesting type of fighter, so we'll see where that goes. The next fight that we have, and I did a video on that you should see come out today, is Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz at the end of November. And then in December, it is a rematch, a highly anticipated rematch by me, if not anybody else, but definitely by me and many other people. The rematch of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz says, though, that he's going to be coming in a little bit different than the last time. He's going to be coming in slimmer. He's going to be coming in faster, and he's going to come in stronger than he did in the original fight with Anthony Joshua, where he blitzed Anthony Joshua, dropped him four times, made him quit against the rope, spit his mouthpiece out, didn't want to walk toward the judge. You remember it. Y'all remember it. One of the absolutely best moments of the 2019, the year of the upsets. And quite honestly, man, I'm hoping we don't get any more upsets this year. At least no upsets in November, man. Let's hold off on all upsets in November. Anyway, let's talk about that, though. Is that a smart move for Andy Ruiz to do that? Let's go back over this a little bit. If you recall, Andy Ruiz was really a late replacement for Anthony Joshua, and he caught Anthony Joshua on surprise. Anthony Joshua was making his debut in the United States of America against Jarrell Big Baby Miller. It was supposed to be in Madison Square Garden. It had, according to the myths, the PR myths that are thrown around, he had broken all of the pre-sale records for Madison Square Garden, whatever that means. A pre-sale record, as if these tickets, like Michael Jackson tickets and all that, were going to be available pre-sale. They weren't. But regardless, it was a record. You know, everything with Anthony Joshua was a record. If you couldn't find a record for it, you just make up a new classification and make up one of those ESPN records. But regardless, that mega show, then Jarrell Big Baby Miller pops dirty for about everything you can possibly test positive for. He tests positive for Clenbuterol, D-ball. He was smoking bud. His blood alcohol level was over the limit. You know what I mean? Just everything you possibly could test positive for, this dude tested positive for. And as a result, he has to be replaced. He gets a late minute replacement. Anthony Joshua, the late minute replacement is not Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz was offered something by ESPN, by Matchroom, according to Matchroom and according to a manager for Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz said that he never got any information from these guys to turn down, to accept or not. But, you know, water under the bridge. Luis Ortiz is fighting Deontay Wilder, and on we go. In comes Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz looking like a poster boy for Snickers. And I do believe since then he might have actually become a sponsor of Snickers. Had just fought not too long before that. His body he does not look like Adonis, the Greek guy. He doesn't look like, he's not running around looking like, this sculptured bathing suit model or whatever these ideas that people think that boxers should look like, right? Definitely like the polar opposite of what Anthony Joshua looks like. And comes into the fight, gets dropped, gets back up, drops Anthony Joshua 2 times, couple more rounds, drops him 2 more times, becomes the new champion of the world, makes a ton of money doing it, and now he's in control of all of those belts. In doing so, people were making a lot of speculation. There was a lot of speculation about Andy Ruiz partying too much, putting on too much weight, spending too much money, and real concerns about whether or not Andy Ruiz was really going to be like the next Buster Douglas. If you recall who Buster Douglas is the heavyweight that knocked out Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went over to Tokyo, had a little Jerry curl. I don't know what Mike was doing with that Jerry curl. That might have been, or I don't know, was it an S curl? It wasn't a Jerry curl. Probably didn't have the rods in it. It was probably just an S curl, some type of light texturizer. And he fights James Buster Douglas, whose father had passed recently, was extra motivated for that fight. He came in there, knocked out Mike, beat Mike Tyson up, knocked Mike Tyson out, and goes on, makes a ton of money, goes on to fight Evander Holyfield. And Evander Holyfield beats up, knocks out Buster Douglas. Now, the reason that Buster Douglas fought Evander Holyfield and Buster Douglas didn't do the rematch with Mike Tyson is because Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield had already come up with a deal where Evander Holyfield got the winner of that fight. So that's why Evander Holyfield fought James Buster Douglas. There's actually I read a paper by an economist who was talking about the economics of boxing, and he mentioned specifically a James Buster Douglas syndrome, where a fighter, the more money they get, the less incentive they have to train properly, because in boxing you're paid for your last performance. So Buster Douglas got a lot of money for Mike Tyson, but he got career-defining money against Evander Holyfield in the next fight. So, and this cycle has been played out over again in boxing, and so there's a lot of concern about whether or not that's going to be the case for Andy Ruiz. Now, you add that to the fact that this fight is going to be over there in Saudi or in the Middle East. That is more reason to believe, hey man, if there's anything off about Andy Ruiz's training, if he's celebrating too much, if he already thinks that he's made it, if he thinks that he's already beaten Anthony Joshua once, so it's going to be easy money twice, so therefore he's not motivated, he's not training. If the money is the reason why he feels like he made it and he doesn't have to get out and run, that could be an issue for him. But what Andy Ruiz is saying, look, man, I'm coming in slimmer, I'm coming in faster, I'm coming in stronger. This time he's had a full training camp. He's had access to every bit of every resource he could possibly need because of the amount of money he's generating in this fight, and the money that he generated for the PBC and for himself in the last fight. So I'm encouraged by Andy Ruiz saying that. Now, here's the issue though. If you come in too light, if you change things up too much, if there's a saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If Andy Ruiz is doing things that are uncharacteristic, right? Not just doing what he did before and doing it better, right? But trying to change things up. I did a video today, and you should see it out, where Alexander Usyk, who just fought Chaz Witherspoon in a not an impressive performance, man. It was not an impressive performance. It's now saying, hey man, he plans on putting on even more weight for his next fight. And I made an argument that might not necessarily be the smartest thing for Alexander Usyk to do. If Andy Ruiz does something the opposite and comes in too light and comes in there feeling like he's drained or he overtrains, that could be that could be a lot of problems for him as well, man. So I just think that he needs to be very careful in what he does and not changing up too much. Treat this fight like it's any other fight, preparing specifically for Anthony Joshua and expecting a tough fight. And I think that we'll get one. This fight's going to be in December. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. It was definitely been one of the best fights of this year. I'll talk in more videos as we get closer to it about Anthony Joshua and whether or not this was really smart for him to take or not. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Is there a chance that Andy Ruiz might come in overtrained, do a little bit too much, and that could affect him as much as him not doing enough? Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.